Welcome to Infinity Reviews. So yeah! Woohoo! Oh, that's a great line. That is a great line. Eve. Hey guys, welcome back to another movie review. And today we are reviewing The Fall Guy. So let's put on our shades and talk The Fall Guy. Got my stuntman glasses on, my Colt Seavers glasses on. Yeah, looking pretty badass, right? So yeah, let's talk about this movie. I had an absolute blast with this movie. Just like down to like it being so focused, on the stunt community. That's what I really love about the film. I think that's the strong part about the film. It's like saying like, hey, being a stuntman, it's not an easy job. But it also is able to create a really, really cool action movie in there, And I would say, some of the things in the movie are predictable. Like where the story's going, you start to realize, like, okay, the story's going this way, okay, it's going this way. And I just think the best parts was like, I really love the parts when they're just filming the stunts, showing how dangerous they are, and also like the process of movie making in general, because this is also not only like about stunts, but also the process of making a movie, shows that like not every movie, you write the script, you hand it in and you get the exact movie. No, there's parts where you're changing the film, having new ideas, and like you got to get those ideas across. And like sometimes the studio is going to interfere, like kind of like what they're doing in the movie with Emily Blunt's character and Hannah Webington's character as the producer, and like just kind of having that like also present the movie making side of it, and also very much stunt oriented film. Ensuring like stunts, they are not easy. They take a toll on your body. You could have catastrophic injuries, and these are people who go out and try to give us the best movie possible. All those fight scenes you see, probably John Wick or Chris Hemsworth fighting, that's a stunt guy, getting hit with a hammer or getting shot with a gun, or getting thrown out of a plane or through a window. Like that is a stunt person risking their body to give us something, and that's what I really love about the film. And this film would not, I don't think, be as entertaining if you didn't have a great cast. And I say that Ryan Gosling again is standing out in the movie. I think this is very much an action movie. Very much an action movie. Ryan Gosling is an action star. Yes, Ryan Gosling is an action star, and he really proves it here. The character he plays is called Colt Seavers. He's a stuntman, who was in love with this cinematographer girl. She was shooting a movie originally, and like she fell in love. That was Emily Blunt's character. They fell in love, on set, and then an accident happens to Cole, and he kind of like loses all his confidence. And this movie is about like kind of him getting his confidence back, and trying to like fix the things that he kind of messed up after his accident. And Ryan Gosling, I will say like they played a lot of the funny moments like in the trailer. The parts with the dog. Some of the jokes. A lot of that was in the trailer, which I think like okay, like they told all the good jokes in the trailer. Sometimes it happens. That was like a little minus for me. But Ryan Gosling's just so fun, and I really love everything he's in. If that's to The Nice Guys, to Drive, to even Barbie, I think Ryan Gosling has the range to kind of do anything, and I feel like he hasn't really hit like into the action space yet. Barbie was kind of like a comedy and satire. We know Ryan Gosling's got the acting chops because he was nominated for an Oscar, and now for this, like I feel like it was the action like is so great, especially like how he portrays a stuntman, and all the promo like Ryan Gosling has done for the movie, if that's shooting like promo with his stunt doubles, Logan Holiday, his stunt driver who who, if you didn't know, you'll know when you watch the movie. He broke the world record for roles in a movie. You see the role in the trailer, and it's a Guinness World Record. And Ryan Gosling, personally, I don't know any stuntman. I don't know anything, but I know that it's not an easy job. And Ryan Gosling really shows, how difficult the job is. Like without stunt people, like we wouldn't come to love like action stars. All that action. You might see like Chris Evans, throw his Captain America shield and be like, oh, that's Chris Evans. No, that's a stuntman probably using it, and probably a stuntman getting hit with that shield. And it's a incredibly dangerous job, and I think they present like how dangerous it is, and also like I said, built a great action movie around it. Kind of like a whodunit movie. Trying to figure out the truth. That's what he's trying to do. Ryan Gosling is like brought back to set to win back the one he loves. Who's Emily Blunt. And he gets from this conspiracy trying to track down the main actor of the film, Tom Ryder, who's played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. And we'll talk about Aaron Taylor Johnson right now. Let's segue into that. Aaron Taylor Johnson, he was really good as a villain, and this is a bit spoiler. Aaron Taylor Johnson is the villain of the movie. He's one of the main villains. There's another villain. We'll talk about the other villain later, but, he definitely plays like, pretty much like what we expect actors to be really like, the cocky, A-list actually like, oh, it's all about me, I know everything better than everyone else. And, he has some funny lines in there, this character's an idiot, that's the thing that makes, I think, Aaron Taylor Johnson's character funny, is that he's an idiot, Like there's a part of the movie where they've tied up Colt Seavers. You see the second trailer where like they're hitting him in the face. Like he's basically like saying like Tom, you dumbass, and he's like I know man, like I didn't want to do this, but he's like such an egotistical villain because like he feels like all his stuntmen are like taking the spotlight from him, and he's like from the movie taking everything from him, and he's like okay, he accidentally kills, spoiler, his stuntman, his original stuntman, and then they try to pin it on Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Gosling's character in the film, and of course, and that's basically what all of Aaron Taylor Johnson's there. He's an idiot. He's a guy who is the movie's story is really about. And now let's move on to the other standout, Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt is really funny in the movie. She kind of brings the same comedy that she brings to like when she was in Devil Wears Prada. She's the girl who feels like she's been left, and she kind of makes this movie is kind of really like about her, which most movies that directors make are about them. She like kind of like, okay, I'm gonna have this alien versus cowboy movie, but I'm also gonna take things from my life, as Colt, Ryan Gosling's character left Emily Blunt's character, because he couldn't really deal with, being, as a stuntman, Ryan Gosling's character felt like he was invincible. And once that accident, like he has a really big accident, that makes him realize that he might not be, he's not invincible. And like, he was like very, very down in the dumps, Stuntman are supposed to be able to go down with anything. Like he just like, I can't, like, he didn't want to drag her down, and it's a really, really like touching, and Emily Blunt's character, she soon comes to experience the emotions. There's a lot of funny scenes. Like there's a funny scene where like she meets him again for the first time. She's like, okay, let's shoot some scenes, and she like and there's a scene she keeps reshooting while telling him the story of the movie, and everyone's just watching it. It's a very, very funny scene and I really enjoyed the scene. But of course, Emily Blunt was great, like as she was always, and her and Ryan Gosling, of course, have really great chemistry. They're joking around, especially when we saw at the Oscars. They have great chemistry. It's like, why have we never seen this duo before? And of course, you got some like other characters now. You got Hannah Wemmington in there, who plays kind of like the mastermind villain. You know, she's kind of orchestrating everything, you know, trying to get her actor out of the situation, you know. And, you know, she enlists Colt to come back to take the fall for it. And, you know, that's kind of like, she kind of plays like the producer who's really the villain. And that's kind of all about her character, you know. There wasn't really any funny stuff with her. She just kind of plays like one of the bad guys along for Aaron Taylor Johnson. And then Winston Duke is also in the movie. Winston Duke, you know, he was kind of like what was his job? He was the lead. He was the stunt coordinator. You know, the guy who's trying to get all the stunts set up. You know, saying like, okay, we can do this, we can do that, and do that. And it kind of was really cool to see. Like, what I really liked is like it kind of showed like how stunts are done on a movie. You know, how much like time, how much effort it takes. You know, to shoot a scene, just set up the stunt. You know, that's what was really cool. And like Winston Duke, he has some funny moments. You know, he's also, I think, one of the parts I really enjoyed about it. There was like not a lot, but a few moments with him and Ryan Gosling, which were really, really fun to watch. You know, and you know that's really all about the characters in the movie. And let's like finish with some final thoughts here. Final thoughts on the film. I personally like love. I think what makes the movie so strong is that it really emphasizes the art of movie making, but also, you know, like I said, the art of stunt work, you know, and it really gets you to show like how much stuntmen are not represented in Hollywood. Like, me really watching the movie, I'm like, how do you not have a best stunts or best stunts done on a movie set, you know, category at the Oscars, you know? You have basically an Oscar for everything. You have an Oscar for sound. You have an Oscar for cinematography, an Oscar for costume design, an Oscar for music. Why can't we put stunts in the Oscars? Like, that would be a really cool category. Like, maybe like you do stunt ensemble, you know, best like stunt work on a film, you know. I really think that should be a category added to the movie, and not just because they talk about it in the movie, but just because, you know, stunts are so dangerous, and, you know, I really think, you know, that this movie's going to bring to light like all the work stunt people do in the entertainment business, and kind of give us, the regular movie watcher, like, oh my gosh, you know, stunts are pretty dangerous, you know, they're like daredevils, you know, it's like they have no fear in them, like they're jumping off buildings, you know, doing barrel rolls in cars, you know, getting like set on fire and thrown out of windows, and like it's not an easy job. And, you know, I think like one of my favorite parts, again, it's not stunt work, but like the love story between Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, like getting back together, was really, really a highlight. You know, one of the things that I really liked is like midway through the film, you know, Emily Blunt's character like starts to like kind of like Ryan Gosling's character again, and she invites him to karaoke, and like and then she learns like, oh, like the producer played by Hannah Wemmington, so it's like, oh, I sent him home, and, you know, the distraught feeling she felt, like I really felt that in the moment of the film, you know, it kind of felt like, oh, a gut punch. And, you know, there's a film where there's a little bit of spoiler, but Ryan Gosling at a point has to fake his death in the film, and, you know, he gives this long speech of why he felt like he couldn't be with her, and, you know, seeing like how worried, you know, Emily Blunt's character was, and the aftermath of her thinking she's dead, and she just watching news footage over and over to see like if she missed something, if she's still alive. Like, that was really romantic, and also like really heartbreaking at the same time. And that's one of the things I think makes it strong. Now let's list some of the things I think like aren't great, and there's not a lot of great things, you know. I do think the movie could have been shorter. I think it was definitely prolonged, you know. There's definitely stuff. It did not have to be 2 hours. And like a lot of people saying, like, it did not have to be this long, you know. Definitely some stuff could have been cut. I do think Hannah Wemmington, like, her performance, like, at the end, like, wasn't the greatest. She kind of played your typical, like, what you'd see, like, in an old James Bond movie. Like, the villain's like, give me the case, you know. And, you know, that was kind of like a downside for me. But overall, the movie is a fun time. I do recommend you go see it. I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. Yes, an 8 out of 10. Just because, there was some stuff, that I felt like didn't need to be included. But also, it's a solid score for the movie, Like, I rank my movies, like, pretty much, like, how much, like, I'm attentive during it. And also, like, how much I enjoy it, I, like, movies like going to this, you're not going to get an Argyle. You're not going to get a Madam Web. You're going to get a movie with some really great actors, really great performances, and David Leitch as a director I really like David Leitch as a director. And I think he does a really good job representing the stunt community and really showing like how hard stunt work is, how difficult it is to make a movie, and also giving us a pretty great action movie. But what do you guys think? Are you guys gonna go check out The Fall Guy this weekend, or are you gonna wait till it comes out on like Apple TV or streaming? Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time. Peace!